Hello, Mega Man and Mega Man X Squad. Today we are watching Pikmin 3 Deluxe, all 3 endings. And this Saturday we are going to do the 4th and the true final ending from Side Stories. And then we're going to have to defeat a secret boss in Side Stories. So honestly, there's no 6 bosses. There's only 7 of them. But let's see if I'm right or wrong. We're going to just watch 3 of them. And then we're going to keep continuing and watch all the bosses from Hey Pikmin. Here we go.
Yes, fastest time ever. No, I just booked an EV on the app.
Ooh,
Yeah,
nice.
pretty good.
Not bad.
Let's go.
Yes. What is it?
I'm going to use the bathroom. You guys keep watching this.
Agora que vocês vão. Yes, choose 500 그렇게 뺏고 돌아.
I'm back from the bathroom. I hope so. It's a different language of speaking in, so they translate it to English.
Though not entirely satisfied, the explorers managed to secure a modest supply of edible matter for their home planet. Yet still they wonder, can this handful of seeds really bring salvation to the people of Kopai? Even if they carefully cultivate the seeds they've harvested, it may not be enough to support the entire population. This thought hovers over the explorers as they embark on their journey home. Along with their cargo, they carry with them a sense of unease. And so the intrepid explorers succeed in securing a healthy supply of edible matter for their home planet. If they carefully cultivate the seeds they've harvested, it will surely bring an end to Kopai's food supply crisis. And while brief, the explorers' time working together with the Pikmin has taught them the wisdom of planning. That wisdom will be the key to harnessing these newfound resources. Simply put, their fate is in their own hands.
What fate? But they're gonna oof soon? I don't want that to happen.
And so the intrepid explorers successfully complete their mission. After securing a bountiful supply of edible matter and learning the valuable
got this
lessons
ending.
of planning, teamwork, the explorers are set to become the saviors of their home planet. Under their guidance, the seeds they've recovered will be used to kick off a sustainable cycle of cultivation and harvesting, thus bringing new life to Kotai. However, one question remains. What was the cause of the accident that sent the SS Drake hurtling to PNF 404 surface? Perhaps it wasn't an accident after all.
I think I got that ending. I didn't get the other ones from my YouTube channel. Okay, so that's all the 3 endings. We know there's a 4th ending, but it's in side stories. And I'll show you it on my Switch once I get my new Pro Controller and my new Joy-Cons. So let me tell you what happened to my old Pro Controller. While I was playing video games, all of a sudden the left stick and the right stick didn't work properly. So when I was about to plug in my Pro Controller, it accidentally fell on the ground. The next story is, when I was playing video games with my Joy-Cons, the left stick and the right stick didn't move again. Didn't move properly again. And so, when I was playing video games, the thing fell on my video game chair and slipped on the ground. So, the only way, so my parents bought me new controllers, new Pro Controller and new Joy-Cons. The Pro Controller is coming this Saturday. The Joy-Cons is coming this Sunday. So when the Pro Controller comes this Saturday, I'll show you guys the true final ending, including the true and final boss. So the golden monster is not the final boss at all. He is in story mode, but he's not in side stories. So maybe it could be different. See, it says secret final boss plus secret true final ending. So there's 4 endings in this game, and I just show you 3 of them. And I meant to say this. When the Pro Controller comes, I'm going to complete side stories, and I'm going to show you the secret ending and the final boss. There's also Pikmin 1 all endings, but we're not going to do that. There's bad ending and good ending. I think one of my videos is here because I have a Pikmin series in here. Right? I don't see it so far. What the heck? Yeah, I think that's it. For all the endings. Let's clear it out and say, hey Pikmin. All bosses. Hey. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Thank you. Hey Pikmin, all bosses. Let's see. Ooh, there's a secret boss. So, yeah. Let's see that one. There's always a secret boss in these Pikmin games.
As a Main Street bank, PNC has helped over 7 million kids develop their passion for learning.
Oh, it's Captain Jonathan as Olimar. Oh, that's not a boss, that's just an enemy. But okay. So that was the first boss. Now we're going on to the second boss. Why the screen has to be this crunch? So that's the second boss? I see it. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Jeez, this game looks like a lot of fun. There's the third boss, fourth boss, fifth boss, sixth boss, seventh boss, eighth boss, ninth boss, which is a secret boss, and that's it. Yeah, that's all. Now it's time to show you Pikmin 4 trailer. So whenever that video that I show you guys, yeah, there's also another trailer. So maybe that was not the actual one. Pikmin. Well, not Pikmin, the original one. This is gonna be weird. Pikmin. Where's the 4? Oh, I had to go to numbers. 4. There it is! Is it? It's not. But there's a trailer for it. Let's see the trailer. It's coming on Switch! But when? Let's see the first trailer, right in front of our faces. This is called the launch trailer. So let's go. Oh, this is a short one, okay. Oh, available now? Wait, for real? This has to be real. On the Nintendo eShop. This has to be real on the Nintendo eShop. If it's not, I'm gonna go insane. Jeez, what was that? is Smash Bros, not Pikmin. This is Smash Bros. This is not Pikmin. Yeah, there's no way that's not Pikmin 4. That's not Pikmin 4. That's not Pikmin 4. That's Smash Bros. Ultimate, you silly. It says Pikmin 4 official trailer. That's not it. Oh, what about this? What if Nintendo made Pikmin 4 finally? Yeah, I wonder when they're gonna make it. There's a lot to watch. Wait, the Last Adventure? Or is it? It can't be Last Adventure. If it is, it's gonna make me cry. I might cry, I don't know why. But some people just cry because they just want to. Okay, let's see. What if Nintendo made Pikmin 4? Let's see about that one.
For the real ones.
Who cares?
Hey everyone, real quick before we get started, we here at Blue Shell are currently giving away a brand new Switch OLED. Want to win it? Stick around to the end of the video to find out how to enter. Okay, on to the video. Nintendo has perhaps the largest collection of iconic IPs in the entire video game world, and that is something of a double-edged sword. While it's obviously awesome that one company can produce so many great games, it does mean that some series just don't get the love and attention they deserve. The Pikmin games are absolute masterpieces, but none of them have sold all that well, and we don't know if Pikmin 4 will ever make it into the world. But what if it did? Well, subscribe if you haven't already for more Nintendo content, click that bell, and let's talk about what Pikmin 4 would look like if Nintendo made it. Now, obviously this is a hypothetical exercise, but I try to make these videos at least partially based on reality. If it was clear that Nintendo was never going to make Pikmin 4, then there wouldn't be a point in me creating this video or in you watching it. However, Nintendo's recent moves make me believe that Pikmin 4 is, at the very least, a possibility. As I mentioned earlier, the Pikmin series hasn't sold all that well by Nintendo standards, and casual gamers probably aren't familiar with the series. The best way to get interested in a new installment in an established series like this is by making the older games more accessible, and Nintendo has been doing a lot of that in the past few years. In 2020, they released Pikmin 3 Deluxe, an enhanced port of the 2013 classic. Now, the original game came out on the Wii U, so it goes without saying that not too many people played it the first time around, and the ones that did play it probably haven't done so in a very long time. Making a port of a long-forgotten classic doesn't mean anything on its own, but the fact that Nintendo also released Pikmin Bloom 1 year later tells me Nintendo is actively trying to promote the Pikmin brand, and they've got to be doing that for a reason, right? Nintendo is very familiar with just how successful mobile games can be, and I find it a little interesting that Pikmin got an app before a bigger IP like Zelda or Kirby. Now, let's talk numbers. It's great to see signs of life from the Pikmin franchise, but it wouldn't mean much of anything if both games failed on the open market. While neither game set the sales world on fire, both did well enough to bring some life to the series, at least in my eyes. 3 Deluxe sold 2.04 million copies as of March 31st, 2021, which is close to doubling the 1.27 million copies sold on the Wii U version. Pikmin Bloom, meanwhile, has over 1 million downloads on Google Play, and I'm sure the iPhone numbers are similarly high. Again, nobody expects this series to put up Mario numbers, but these are respectable figures that could certainly justify making Pikmin 4. And of course, we can also go back to Miyamoto himself talking about the game. Back in 2015, the Nintendo executive confirmed that Pikmin 4 was in active development and, quote, very close to completion. Obviously something happened with the game, as it's been 7 years and we have yet to hear a peep about an official release. And no, we can confirm that Miyamoto was not talking about Hey Pikmin. Miyamoto said Pikmin 4 was still in development after that 3DS monstrosity was released. So, let's put on a tinfoil hat for a second. Here's what I think happened. Nintendo was actively working on Pikmin 4 from 2014 to 2017, when they pumped the brakes on the series after the flop that was Hey Pikmin. In the eyes of Nintendo, the fact that 3 mainline Pikmin games and a spin-off all failed to move units made them apprehensive about releasing the 4th installment, even though the Switch was spreading like wildfire at the time. So, they changed plans. Instead of releasing Pikmin 4 in 2018 or 2019, they decided to put that game on hold and work on getting the public more interested in the IP as a whole. This explains why it took until 2020 to make Pikmin 3 Deluxe, and why it took until 2021 to get Pikmin Bloom. With brand awareness at an all-time high, I wouldn't be too surprised to see Pikmin 4 finally make its way to store shelves in 2023 or 2024. Okay, now that I've justified why I believe the game could actually exist, let's talk about the game itself. Every single Pikmin game adds a new playable character into the mix. The original Pikmin only had Olimar, Pikmin 2 had Olimar and Louie, and Pikmin 3 had Charlie, Alf, and Brittany. Controlling 4 separate players at the same time might sound difficult, but I think it can be done. Now, this is something that would need to be playtested, and I'm obviously in no position to do that, but I believe Pikmin 3 Deluxe's intuitive Go Here function would naturally allow for a 4th character. 3 Deluxe mastered the art of multitasking, and I don't think that adding another character to the mix would overwhelm the mechanic. That being said, the one change I would make is assigning a specific character to each one of the D-pad directions. One of my only problems with 3 Deluxe is that you switch characters using the D-pad, but the specific button you need to hit for each specific character changes constantly. This leads to a lot of unnecessary character swaps, and can lead to some serious trouble if 2 of your characters are in the midst of an important task, but the 3rd one is off doing his own thing. Yes, you could spend the extra second to confirm you're switching to the right character, but in a game with a strict time limit, you really need to save every second you can. In Pikmin 4, I'd love to see each character stick to one direction on the D-pad. Let Olimar be up, Charlie be right, Brittany be left, and Alf be down. Of course, a new Pikmin game also means more kinds of Pikmin. Each game introduces a new species into the world, and 4 will be no different. I've put a decent amount of thought into this, and I'd like to see green and orange Pikmin in Pikmin 4. Now, the color green obviously shares a close connotation with nature, and the green Pikmin's unique powers will reflect this. In my ideal Pikmin 4, green Pikmin can be used in the field to help plants grow and flower at rapid rates. In battle, they would be slightly weaker than their counterparts, but they'd make up for it with their ability to stick onto their targets for an extended period of time. The in-game explanation for this would be that they're covered in a glucose-like substance, which makes enemies work a little harder to shake them off. In addition to the green Pikmin, orange Pikmin should also make their way into the new game. Yellow Pikmin handle electricity, so it only makes sense that a similarly colored Pikmin would have a similar power. In Pikmin 4, these orange Pikmin will have a glowing ability that gives them the power to stun enemies in battle. While their attack power remains constant with your standard Pikmin, throwing a bunch of them in a concentrated area will create a bright, blinding light to stun opposing enemies. This ability will be crucial when we talk about the final level.
Okay, I see your ideas.
Next stage. We've never gotten one of these before, as it's deemed too deadly for both you and your Pikmin to be on the ground once the sun sets. However, in this game, something will happen that forces you to make a dangerous trek in the dark, facing off against scaled-up enemies. The orange Pikmin are going to be crucial here, as their glowing ability will allow you to light passageways, while their light blast will stun any enemy that crosses your path. These elements should all come together to create a game that is much longer than Pikmin 3. And you can tell a game is good when my biggest complaint is that it ended too quickly. Overall, 3 has 4 traditional levels and a 5th level that serves as one big boss fight. While each level has plenty of secrets and tons of replayability, it is surprisingly quick to get through the game if you follow the story as intended. Interestingly enough, this was a conscious decision by Nintendo, at least in part. Miyamoto noticed how much the speedrunning community enjoyed the first two games and told the development team to design the third game around speed of completion. I understand why they made the decision they did, but I hope 4 is aimed more at the non-speedrunning community. Because, let's be honest, they're speedrunners. They will find a way to break your game in ways you never thought possible. Nintendo, you don't need to make their job any easier. Keeping to the theme of just wanting more Pikmin action, I'd love to see a bigger and better challenge mode. After beating Pikmin 3 Deluxe, you have the option to do side missions as Olimar and Louie. These missions take place both before and after the events of the main game, and mostly serve as timed challenges for the player to either kill a bunch of baddies, or collect as much fruit as humanly possible. If you beat the mission before time runs out, you get an extra bonus for your hard work. I'd love to see a challenge mode that isn't quite as strict of a timer. Introducing some sort of challenge centered around survival would be a welcome addition to the game. Pikmin 2's caves were untimed, and bringing back a few similar challenges would be a welcome change of pace. If you couldn't tell, I want the next Pikmin game to be a lot longer. The truth is, I love the series, but there are only so many times you can play the same levels before you start getting bored. Making a larger game would go a long way towards fixing that problem, but it wouldn't be a permanent fix. However, adding in a map editor with online functionality would lead to a theoretically endless amount of content. The Super Mario Maker series proved that this concept can work, although Pikmin would have to work a little bit differently. While Mario is all about finding a way from point A to point B, Pikmin's levels tend to have more depth to them. Now, again, I'm painting with a broad brush, but because the complex design of a traditional level might be too much for your average Pikmin fan, I propose making the map editor for caves, rather than traditional maps. Caves are much easier to design and can serve as a practice for potential designers looking to hone in on their level-making skills. Maybe Pikmin 5 can have a map editor for traditional levels, or maybe they could add it in as DLC for Pikmin 4, or maybe I should just worry about getting the game in the first place before I go designing their DLC. Okay, you've made it to the end of the video, so it's time to talk about the giveaway. We're giving away a brand new Switch OLED to a lucky fan, and all you have to do to enter is like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell. Seriously, it's that easy. We'll be announcing a winner in April, so make sure you enter by then. Well, that's all we have for this time. Thank you so much for watching, and let us know down in the comments what you'd want to see in Pikmin 4. If you enjoyed the video, or if you just want a free Switch OLED, and let's face it, who doesn't, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell so you won't miss a thing. We here at Blue Shell do our very best to give you the best content possible in a timely manner, and we wouldn't be able to do it without your help. Also, if you're on Discord and want to come hang out with us, make sure to check out our server. Links down in the description.
Yeah, sure. Alright guys, so see you next time on Nico Show. Don't forget to like and subscribe. There are no comments, so I'll see you on more Pikmin 4 trailers for the second episode. Have a nice day guys, and bye.